Hi everyone, welcome to All Things Iceland. This is Jules, and today I thought it would be fun to share a story with you about how the Icelandic wind sucked our window out of our apartment. Yeah, not fun and kind of intense when you think about it. So just to start off, for those who are unaware, we are in the process of moving. Where I am at right now, it's a lovely place, but it is not our home. It is not the apartment that we sold, which we moved out of there November 30th. And since that time, even before that time, we have been renovating the apartment that we bought. And that has been a whole ordeal that I've been documenting in terms of what we originally planned on doing, what we ended up doing, which is totally gutting the place and essentially starting over. And of course, then will be the final results. So all of that is coming. Definitely make sure that you're subscribed and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on that. And over on Instagram, if you follow me there, then you've probably already seen some images of updates of how things are going. It looks beautiful. Like I'm so excited about eventually moving into this place. And probably by the time you've seen this, we would have more than likely moved in, even though the construction is continuing when we move in, because such is life. Sometimes you just gotta move even though something's not finished, but it's nearly there, and that is the great news. So okay, in terms of this apartment that we're renovating, that is the place where the wind sucked our window out of our apartment. And I just have to laugh at it because it just is like, what? And it gives you an idea of like how strong Icelandic wind can be. Backstory wise though, regarding this apartment is that we recently, even though we physically are not living there, we recently moved our stuff, like boxes, furniture, and everything into the apartment while they're still like doing some renovations, such as painting, clear up the kitchen, and whatever. So that happened the day before there was supposed to be a huge storm in Iceland. This is very recently, so we had a red alert. And on February 6th, I believe, which is a Sunday, going into February 7th, which is a Monday, is when this storm happened. Now, all of us were told, like red alert in the south of Iceland, where Reykjavík is located, the capital of Iceland, and also the west of the country, like Snæfellsnes Peninsula, those were in a red alert situation. The rest of the country was orange alert, so everyone, in essence, in the country was advised to stay home, stay off the roads. Major roads were closed, and there was also supposed to be a lot of snow. So wind, snow, basically like, you know, great conditions for cozying up and staying put. And that's what a lot of people did. Even though, come to find out, on Monday, even though we had all planned to stay home, the Reykjavík area didn't get as much of an impact as other parts of the country. However, our apartment did, of course, end up having a little bit of an issue, as you were hearing about. And we found out about this through our contractor. So on Tuesday, that following day after we had basically stayed home for the majority of the day, we had to meet the contractor to go over some things in the apartment, you know, final touches about buying stuff, whatever. And before we arrived, he kind of nonchalantly told us that a window in our apartment broke during the storm. And it was like, oh, okay, window broke, that sucks, probably like a crack in the glass or something, right? Like not really giving us a lot of information. So my assumption was something that was kind of minor. When we pulled up to the apartment though, I saw there was a wooden plank or wooden piece that was the shape of the window covering the window that I assume was broken. But when we go up to talk to him, he's like, yeah, so here's the window. And he's showing it to me and it's like, that's the whole window is out of the apartment. Like it's just no longer there. And that piece of wood is because there's no longer a window there anymore, right? And I was just like, wait, what happened? And he's like, okay, so what I think happened is because even though the wind was coming from the opposite direction of where our apartment is, where it's facing, where the windows are facing, it seems that maybe the wind picked up and caused this kind of like tornado effect. And granted, the winds during this particular storm, hurricane level. And we're talking about gusts of wind up to 53 meters per second on the Reykjanes Peninsula, for instance. So really, really high winds, super scary. And that's why they were telling people to stay home and not to drive, be off the roads, all that jazz. But no one, at least we were never expecting, even though we knew the windows were older, and doing the gutting of the apartment, this is something we went over with the contractor that we were going to replace. However, no one expected we would need to do it so soon because of this specific event. But it seemed that the wind had picked up and then sucked the full window, the frame and everything out of the apartment, out of the building. And there was just a gaping hole into our apartment while there was a storm. And there was lots of snow, or a decent amount of snow at least, and of course lots of wind. But when we got to go look at our stuff, which we had just moved in, and there was sitting in the living room, goodness, amplifier, his speakers, furniture, things that could get damaged, of course, by the weather, by Iceland's wind. And this, one of the reasons why I feel like it's important to tell this story is because when I talk about the windstorms here, people are often like,
oh, okay, you know, it can be dangerous, but whatever.
It's like, no, it can suck a window off of a building. And granted, okay, the windows were old. Yes, I get it, but this is quite intense in my opinion that this happened. And of course now it's made it so that we're gonna replace the windows a lot sooner than we had expected, meaning we were planning to do it after all the renovations were over. It was like the final touches on the place. But the kicker, and this is the most positive and interesting part, at least to me, of the story, is that no snow or rain or anything, moisture, was in the apartment when they came in that morning to start working. Of course, they used the wood in order to block off the weather from getting into our place when they got there, but he was like, yeah, it was pretty remarkable that nothing was damaged. Even the windowsill, which they had recently painted, like there was no moisture or anything. I was like, huh, that's amazing. We were super lucky. And we were also lucky that we didn't live in the place when the window was sucked out, because think of how scary that would have been to hear this window like ripping off of the building. The other amazing part is that nothing was damaged. Of course, the window was damaged, but below. So the window fell into a parking area. No car was damaged, no person was damaged. They were able to pick up the frame and everything and bring it upstairs to a secure location out of the weather and everything else, and the glass and all that jazz. But still, like, it's just the circumstances around the fact that it happened is bizarre or kind of like funny in hindsight. But in reality, this is a potentially very dangerous situation, or could have caused damage to an inanimate object like a car. So I'm just grateful for that. If you're enjoying this type of story time videos, definitely let me know in the comments below, because things happen here. Some are more bizarre than others for sure. A lot of good things, a lot of not so fun things, and I like sharing stories if you're interested in them, of course. If you enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content about Iceland. I have so many awesome, amazing things coming up. And of course, I'm also on TikTok for all of those out there who are over on TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, all those places. So definitely come check me out over there for fun, interesting, shorter content. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you